stoked. Okay. And
Action.
action, let's go. Again? Yeah, so they just did some testing on my eyes, make sure I'm able to see everything. Yeah, dilated them so I can't see much right now. We're heading to get my physical done, and then I'm gonna go home and nap. This is a new one, I've never done this before.
Let's do the other side. Good. Go like this, tap, and you can watch your hand just go back and forth.
Oh my god, it's so very sorry.
Good. Let's do this side. Tap first.
Tap.
Tap, tap, and then go back and forth like that.
I don't know why I'm doing this double thing that I'm doing.
That's good. Perfect.
So the last time that I started doing all the tests for the fight, my COVID test came back positive, so I can go and fight. So now, negative COVID test this morning, and all my tests are done. So yeah, it's a much better time this time. I can't see shit.
It won't benefit me too much.
You know, it's fight week, so normally on fight week we kind of stick with the locker room routine, something that should be, you know, doing all week. It's not necessarily timed. It's repping out some of the things that, you know, she spent time on all camp, you know, specifics. Rather than just kind of get around in and flow, we'll kind of spend time on specifics, repping them out 5-10 times each, and then taking little breaks, really no bell, just kind of going through the game plan, you know.
Casey at home, she's pretty good. She's really tough on herself, so she's also adjusting to how the kind of environment we have here in Vegas. We like to kind of really prioritize quality training over quantity, so she does have a hard time with that, but for the most part she's pretty good and strict on herself. She stays on task through the whole camp. She started really early, but yeah, she's hard on herself, but you know, sometimes that's a little kick in the ass you need to kind of to get to the next level. Hi, it's Ty. I got Casey with me. She's just gonna pick up her meals.
Okay, one sec.
Nah. You gotta grapple first before you go and spar.
So happy.
Angry someone took my food. Let's go. Because I can't eat anything, so let's go.
Stop by.
They're like, oh, give us 20 minutes. I'm like, guys, I'm not giving you 20 minutes.
How about
Then
like?
I'll come back and grab it.
I did.
Okay. So you're getting your food, huh? After.
When
If not,
we
you
go
can stop
on the way
by
to
like
Spain.
a protein house or something. They always like deliver.
Literally something, yeah. Every
Yeah.
something from over there.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good
Enjoy the
workout,
Angry Dragon. The
See you later.
Australian Dragon.
It's whatever. I'm not actually angry.
Alright, brother.
Really want to make it with something, you kind of got to just go through the struggles at the start. You know, like being a fighter, like you don't make any money at the start, but you just got to deal with that. If you want to be like a legit fighter, you can't like have a day job, or like, you know, you got to like be in the gym every day, training, getting better, and it takes years sometimes. You know, like, for me it took years to get like good enough to be where I'm at now. And a lot of people say like I haven't had very many fights, or I'm very young and blah blah blah, but like I've been training for like a while, you know. It didn't, some people it clicks naturally, and for me it took longer. So not many people see behind the scenes, but it did take a while. But like I said, like I was on and off when I had my first 2 fights for like a long time, you know. I started kickboxing when I was 4, and I would go religiously for a while, then I wouldn't, and I'd go, then I wouldn't, and yeah, I was like 13 when I properly started training MMA, and I was like just a week shy of my 16th birthday when I had my first fight. So I'd been training that time on and off because I was in high school and I was doing this stuff that teenagers do. I hadn't fully committed yet. And then I lost those 2 fights back to back, like a year apart, half a year apart I think they were. And I decided that like I was either gonna not do it at all or do it like fully, and then that's when I gyms, changed like a bunch of stuff, changed the people I was hanging out with. Like, I moved from my mom's house to my dad's house because I knew my dad would like support it more. Not that my mom wasn't supportive either, but I just knew that like at that time I wasn't even driving, so my dad was getting me to the gym and stuff like that. So I moved in with him and just changed like a whole bunch of stuff about myself. And trained for 2 solid years, day in, day out, three hours a day, until I fought again for the next time. And then I fought, won, and then I fought again a month later, won, and just kept on. Yeah, my dad's like a lot like me, so he puts all of his eggs in one basket when he's doing something. So like when we moved to Australia and he wanted to do fight shows, that was like a one-track mind for him, you know. Yeah, his first show, he had a partner, didn't really work out. Like he didn't stop there, you know. He had Eternal, he's had Rain, he's had a couple, and Eternal's at that stage now where like it's so well known in Australia, everybody wants to fight for him. You know, he's signing people on like contracts the same way the UFC does. Like people only want to fight for him exclusively and stuff. And I mean, I guess it's cost him a lot of other things in his personal life, the same way fighting has for me. But I always took that work ethic from him though. You know, like his first show didn't work out, but he just kept going, and Eternal is massive now. My first 2 fights I lost, and a lot of people would have given up there, but now look where I am, you know, gonna fight in the UFC. So I see a lot of similarities between me and my dad. I think not only do we love like the same sport, but the way that we go about things is very similar. You know, I'm always known for like overtraining, and he's always known for overworking. He like works himself to the bone. You know, he loves Eternal the same way that I love fighting, and that's how it's gotten so big over there. You know, there's no other show in Australia that like is nationwide. You know, he's even went over to New Zealand now, so it's all over the country. It's in New Zealand, it's on UFC Fight Pass, you know, like people really want to fight for Eternal, you know, and it's like the most recognized one in Australia. So, yeah, I mean, it did cost him the relationship with my mom, I think, but whatever. It's a small price to pay for what you want in life, I guess. It's cost me a lot of relationships too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to decide at the end of the day with your life what you want to do, you know. And he wanted to have this show, you know. He's got a great partner now as well, Ben, who helps him like so much. And the way that those two work together is like really good. And obviously, Eternal's massive now, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. And then my little sister even has just started like an amateur promotion in Australia, and she's just like same as my dad, like. I think we're both very like my dad, you know. She's just works like crazy to sort of get where she is, and she wants to do both, so we'll see what she ends up doing. I think she's going to fight in June, and then she's going to have an amateur MMA show as well by the end of the year, so she's separating the eggs at the same time.
So she's gonna put on a show and then fight for a show. Oh, that's cool.
She's 19, almost 20, but I never had the same love as my dad did for putting on shows, you know, like she does. Even with working for him, like she loves it, you know. When he used to make me do it, I hated it. I never wanted to be working, you know. I always wanted to be fighting. My sister just loves doing like all of it, you know. That night she's got like the headset on and she's running around doing everything. I just like to either fight or sit down and watch the fights, so I'll cut out for the promotion business, I guess. They definitely are both. She's super helpful for him too. I know that. Like he's done multiple interviews where he's spoken about the fact that she helps him so much. So I didn't really help. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, even before I got into the UFC, I was the champion on his promotion, and I think that was like a big thing. You know, like I could tell he was super proud of me, and even like. If you watch the first fight that I won, you can actually see him. That was like, he wasn't in my corner. He was working on the desk right next to this cage. And you can see after I won him jump up and like he can't contain his excitement. So he like jumps up and does this little clap and then sits back down, like trying to be professional. But you could just tell that he was super proud.
His dad showed during that moment.
Yeah,
you know?
like I stuck with it when a lot of people wouldn't have stuck with it, you know. Even he gave me the talk of, you know, if you don't want to do it, like don't feel pressured. You don't have to do it, you know. I always wanted to do it, so I made it happen. I mean, a lot of shit happened after those two losses as well. Like, it wasn't like I lost those two and decided that day that I was going to continue. There was like a lot of doubt in my mind whether I would continue or not, you know. There was like 3 months after the second one where I just partied like crazy with my old friends and like stopped going to like school and stuff like that. Not that I was really going anyway, but I completely stopped. I was a little bit depressed. I lost a bunch of weight. Freaking went vegetarian. Like, I changed so many things, like, just because my mind was like unsure on what I should do. And I'm super grateful. My dad was like telling me, you know, try a new gym. Like, maybe you don't like the environment. It's hard to grow in a shitty environment. So, and it's not shitty for everyone, but that gym wasn't for me that I started and everything. So as soon as I moved and like I met my coach at the time, Pasha, like I knew that I wanted to continue fighting, and he kept telling me, you know, you're so good, you shouldn't give up, you're so good. And once I started training the way I was training, I didn't think I went a little bit mad the first fight. I was like walking for an hour on the treadmill after practice. After 3-hour practice, I'd walk on that treadmill for an hour, complete incline, just like try and lose weight, and I would be on weight like 2 weeks before and stuff, just because, you know, like I was trying to make it all happen for myself. And obviously now I'm a little bit more relaxed, cut weight properly and stuff, and obviously I know a lot more than I did then, but
my baby! How you feel?
I feel good now.
Yes, Lucky.
Good
work.
Thank you.
You deserve it. You work hard. You've been waiting for it.
I have some of this. Whoever this is. Yeah.
What up?
Yes, get that. I want to record you. I mean,
What's this?
So
What's this?
The gram is hating on me, Regan. They're saying I look fat.
Chicken
oh,
pizza.
I'm like in the back.
You're like, yeah, motherfucker. I'm about to get
How's the
that.
case?
So good. Best pizza ever. Real. I mean, I feel pretty good. I feel better. My eye hurts.
Is
My
this
eye
your
keeps
first
sweating.
pizza?
Yeah, so good. I feel good though. Good to
Try that
be.
white pizza though.
Really?
Right over there.
All day too, you know. Or if I use fucking jump and switch me.
This is so good. I don't want to talk. I want to eat. I called him and I was like freaking out.
Okay.
And he was all cool about it. I could tell that he'd been crying. And then I called my mom and she was like, like she was not cool about it. She's like, I love it. That's all I called. I'm trying to stay off my phone
Honestly, I think
today.
my mom would be happy either way.
It'd be like blowing up. Blowing up.
But I just said, let me know.
I was like, as my head was coming back, that was in my head. I was like, oh, hard. So hard.
Yeah, you gotta go left, right. It's not here. It's like, it's all, once you got that little left, right, it's okay. Then you
Yeah. The first one though, literally this.
dog.
I was like, I could hear them start freaking out too, and I was like, I'm fine. Everyone thinks I'm. Her corner started going. My corner started.
She killed it. She destroyed it. 6-0.
I was saying,
What else can you say?
I hope they give me a
She's destroying them.
You better get used to this. You know, you're gonna be a lot of interviews soon.
Oh my god. Okay. It has been like the same as every other fight. I don't know, I had an expectation that it was going to be so different, but really the only difference was like my Instagram going crazy and more people asking for interviews and stuff like that. And I got my little verification thing on Instagram, which was cool, but no, it's pretty much like the same as the other fights, you know? You go through like a high for a couple of days and then you go like super low for a week. So I'm just coming out on the other end of that low now, and I just want to like get back into training how I was and find something else to work towards. So, I mean, when you're in fight camp, there's so many people that sort of help the engine run and get you to the fight. So obviously all my coaches from Extreme and 10th Planet, and then even all my coaches from Tiger Muay Thai that I haven't seen in a little while, my training partners, and Train Aid especially, you know, Jordy, he's been there for me since day one. Even the whole fight camp, I had other dietitians, but I was just messaging Jordy like on the phone, and when I was cutting, he was up late. It was like 1 a.m. over in Australia, and he stayed up until I told him I was on weight, and then he went to bed, you know, so he sort of has been there for me through it all. And obviously my parents, my dad, my mom, my sister, and then, yeah, everybody. I mean, there's so many people. To be honest, you forget half the people that help you when it comes to these things.